gonna go do that.
Did you see O'Brien from the corner? You see him call his shot? You ever see anything like that? If only he could do that to actually win a game.
Hey, no.
If only it could be a last second, like a walk-off shot. I got this.
Who's ever
no,
done
you
that?
don't.
Who's ever shot a shot and said, oh, that's a game?
Babe Ruth.
Good one. Well, normally,
You ought to be shaming yourself, Skip.
when the Lakers win, we normally talk all things LeBron. But you know what? He is not the story right now because James Harden scored only 16 points last night as the Rockets fell to 3-6 in a blowout loss to the Lakers. Houston has lost 4 of their last 5, and Harden seems to be ramping up the pressure on the team to get him out. After the game, Harden said the Rockets are just not good enough. He then went on to say, quote, "This situation is crazy. It's something that I don't think can be fixed." Shannon, should the Rockets take the best deal on the table for Harden right now?
They shouldn't take the best deal that's on the table. But James Harden has made it abundantly clear. Skip, we had heard reports and guys reporting, insiders have been reporting that James Harden wants to be traded. He's made it clear. This was the very first time publicly that James Harden made it abundantly clear, I want to be out. Skip, James Harden's not even trying. He's not even pretending that he's playing hard. First of all, the way he showed up late to camp, and then he showed up out of shape. Now, James Harden, with that body that you see, can drop 40, but he needs to drop 25, as in pounds.
I agree.
Skip, he doesn't even care. He's not even trying. He's not even pretending. This is the longest streak of 20 or under point games James Harden has had since 2011-2012.
When he was
with OKC.
He was the 6th man.
Skip, think about this. His first game back after being away from camp, he drops 44 and 17 at the blink of an eye. And then he follows that up with another high 30-point game. So we know James Harden, even in the condition that he's in, if he wants to, he can drop 30 on anybody every night. We've seen James Harden shoot 20-plus get 20 points in free throws. And now he's just milling around.
Yep.
Hey, you take it, John Wall. Hey, I'll pass it to you. I'm just going to be standing over here. I'm just going to make it so uncomfortable for everybody that you're going to have no choice. But, Skip, the thing is that while he's made it abundantly clear to the Rockets he wants out, he's killing the value in which they can get to it because teams just sitting back like, okay, that's another pick I get to keep in my pocket. That's another pick I get to keep. That's a solid player I get to keep on my roster that I'm not going to give up. The problem that they have, Skip, is that James Harden is under contract, but not just this year. He has 2 more years on his deal. So theoretically, no, Skip, we can play hardball. Skip, I believe if James Harden says, you know what, has a team meeting, they can be a player. You can't tell me that Christian Woods isn't better than Clint Capella. And John Wall is comparable to what Russell Westbrook.
I agree.
The only difference is that James Harden is uninterested currently in being in Houston, and he's giving, Skip, I'm not saying he's giving you a little effort. He's giving you no effort. He's like, got his foot over the line of I quit. But he ain't put it down yet, Skip, but he's up in the air and he's over there.
Agreed.
He's just waiting to put it down. And it's a shame because I believe, Skip, no matter what you do, you should give your best effort. And if you don't want, and I get he doesn't want to be there, but right now, they're going to have to. They're not, Skip, I've been the front like, no, I wouldn't do it. But after watching James Harden these last 2 games, ain't no way he can stay on this roster the whole year.
I think you just talked yourself into, yes, I would take the best deal on the table.
But Skip, you know what the best deal is going to be. It's going to be some sneakers, jock strap, and some Gatorade.
I don't think it's that bad.
Skip, you not.
But those extra draft picks, they've gone away.
They've gone away. Skip, when you think about what they gave up, the Rockets gave up to get Chris Paul in the swap for Russ, and you think about what the Lakers gave up to get AD, is someone trying to tell me James Harden is a comparable as far as skill set as those guys? Now, I believe AD is a better all-around player than James Harden, but it's hard for me to find, if James Harden is motivated, a better offensive player than all of basketball. And I'm talking about Kevin Durant, LeBron, Steph, you name the offensive player. When that guy's motivated to play, can't nobody see it.
He revolutionized the game.
But right now, Skip, he's uninterested in playing. And if John Wall said, bro, after nine games, you ready to jump off the bridge? He said, no, I was ready to jump off the bridge before the first game. He was uninterested. And so, Skip, they're going to have to do something sooner rather than later. Skip, I was like, maybe the All-Star game they might be. I don't think it's going to make it till then.
Okay. So, in a few minutes on this show, we're going to talk about another Houston superstar named Deshaun Watson, but he plays in this other league called the National Football League. And it's very different on that side of the fence versus this side of the fence, because on your side of the fence, you being in the NFL Hall of Fame, the players do not run the show.
No.
In the NBA, the players dictate.
Yes.
They are in control and in command.
Right.
And I believe James Harden has just seized command of his situation, and he finally made his first public declaration of, what was the last line? It's something that I don't think can be fixed. Boom. That's it. So he said, get me out of here now. And his play last night, I agree with you, that game was over in about a minute because you could just see he didn't want to be playing out there.
And he rubbed off on everybody else.
He did. The body language of the Rockets as a team was abominable. It was an embarrassment for the National Basketball Association. And your team rolled as it should have rolled, but it was hard not to roll against a team that was not competitive. And that Rockets team is much better than it played because, to your point, I like Christian Wood. He had 18 and 8 last night. I still am a fan of DeMarcus Cousins. They're trying to let him play his way back into shape.
Right.
I'm a fan of John Wall. Hey, I look at this team and I still see Eric Gordon and I see PJ and I see McLemore and I can go down the list. This is a team that can't win the West, but could be the 4 seed. It could be in the middle of the Western Conference playoff picture and could win a round of the playoffs. So my point is this. Is James Harden not the shrewdest operator we've ever seen from the perimeter? Is there anybody more wily, more sly from the perimeter than James Harden? Who can get to the free throw line and get 3 free throws better than anybody in the history of basketball? It's this guy.
He can get free throws, Skip. Nobody's led the league in free throws attempted and made like James Harden over the last 5 years in the history.
So I believe he just pulled off a genius plot to play his way or eat his way out of Houston. Because I think he's eating his way out also.
You see him in the warm-up line? He like he came straight from the Denny's buffet.
Hey, seriously, he's got a gut. I mean, he's got a flat-out gut.
James Harden had the all-you-can-eat grand slam like 4 or 5 times yesterday.
Right, so I'm going to remind everybody what you went through. He came out and he wanted to even fat. He wanted to validate his value for his trade partners. So what did he do in the first game? We came in on Monday and raved about it because I believe it was a Saturday night at Portland and it went to overtime. And as you point out, he scored 44 points in that game. I thought it was about as great as I've ever seen him play. And he also had, as you said, 17 assists. And it went to the buzzer and they lost by 2 to Portland because C.J. McCollum just went off. Okay. So we sat back and said, wow. That was spectacular. That was special. Maybe these Rockets, maybe he's going to be happy with the Rockets, right? And then he comes back at Denver the next game and scores 34. And then at home against Sacramento, he scored 33. And then he decided to take the back. It wasn't exactly back-to-back. They had a night in between, but they had to play Sacramento again. And he said, I'm done. I'm not going to play that game. And here we went. With almost quit James Harden. And I agree with you. He put his sneaker across the line, and he hasn't quite touched it down, but it's as close to quitting as you can get without quitting. So here's what he's averaged over his last 5 games. This is James freaking Harden we're talking about. He's averaged 17 points, 5 rebounds. He has averaged 10 assists, so you got to give him that because he's still, but it's all like, I don't care assists where you do it. You do it, you do it.
But Skip, we've seen him average 29 and 10 assists, 29 and 11 assists. So we know he can facilitate the ball, but the scoring is where he hurts you.
So over the last 5 games, he is shooting 38% from the floor. It's horrendously bad. He's shooting 26% from 3. Horrendous. That's 10 of 39. Really? He's averaging 5 free throws a game. He averages 10 for his career. Okay, so so he's not even trying to get to the free throw line. They're just happening by accident that he shoots 5 a game. Quit, almost quit, right? So he's
wanna be out.